Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, let's check out what's going on with FITFI. So, since my last video, we have landslided, and I didn't make an update yesterday because I really wanted to signify the importance of my Bitcoin videos yesterday. What goes on with Bitcoin is going to bleed into what happens in the crypto markets, and we've got some very important things going on this week, and it doesn't seem like FITFI seems to like all of that pressure. So, let's talk about what's going on with FITFI. So, before I do jump into the analysis, if you're a seasoned veteran on my channel, you might be wondering, what happened to my trade, because I was talking about my stop loss being at the 55-cent region, and it does look like we've hit my stop loss. So, first of all, congratulations to everyone who got in this trade with me. We got in down here at 50 cent. It rode all the way up to 73 cent. Unfortunately, my take profit target was up here at the 4.236 at 82 cent. If I moved it down, one Fibonacci band to the 3.618, then we might have hit it. But I mean, to be honest, I thought with the KuCoin listing, with all this bullish news, people were rumoring the Binance listing, even though I'm not necessarily one to care about rumors, but these are kind of degenerative projects running off hype. A lot of people were talking about it. Staking was coming. I did think we were going to go to higher price targets, but it looks like we came down. This is why we always include a stop loss when I do get in my trades. If I see that I entered a successful trade and we're up 50%, I always want to make sure that I put a stop loss in at like 10%, so worst comes to worst, the market does reverse on us, we do get stopped out, and that is exactly what happened. So I did get stopped out at 55 cent. What a beautiful place to get stopped out at. I thought at that moment in time it would have been when the markets went bearish, and you can see we came down with no liquidity to liquidate any trades. We had a higher low on this one, and then we actually completely landslided below it. So it seems like my stop loss was literally perfect, because the second we lost my stop loss, within only 3 hours we went down almost 20%, 17.5%. so I will be removing this data on the trade. Like I said, congratulations to everyone who got in. It was only a 10% trade, but quite recently we've been in a lot of trades. We've been in trades for FITFI. We made a great trade. We made great trades on KNC. We made great trades on Ape. We've been making great trades on JASMY. What else have we been doing? Because I think, did we mention GMT, Green Metaverse Token? Because we got stopped out, or at least I got stopped out in more than like 1000% profit. So, we've had some great trades going on. It is always very smart to include a stop loss when you are trading with cryptos like these, because the markets can turn sour on you very, very quickly. So you might be wondering what is going on in the markets right now. Now that we have broken down, so it looks like we've taken out this previous fractal that we've done, so I'm going to clean our chart up a bit so I have a slightly fresh perspective. Now the first thing that screams at me is this M pattern. Now would you want to draw it? I would actually draw it from here, because in my opinion, if we thicken this out a bit, you can see the uptrend of the M really went boom here. We came down, back tested it perfectly, and you can see the most important area that we lost was right here. You could argue as well the neckline is right here, but we kind of came down into it, came back up from it, came down, which is perfectly valid. But I feel like once this line was lost, it was a complete wick down. So I feel like this was the neckline. If we do extrapolate the price target of the M pattern, see where this could take us down. This could take us all the way down to 35 cent, which would be a brutal trade for FITFI. So what am I going to do at this moment in time? Because I still do believe that FITFI can do moderately well in this in this very, very worrying climate. I just made a video on this, which, like I said, I didn't make a FITFI or altcoin updates yesterday, because what is going on in Bitcoin is 100% more important than what's going on in FITFI. And you might be only caring about FITFI and not care about what goes on with Bitcoin, but the reason why FITFI is dumping, the reason why your altcoins are dumping, is because of what's going on in Bitcoin and the stock market. So I do definitely recommend you check that out. The dollar is extremely bullish right now. This is not good for cryptos. This is definitely not good for your cryptos that are built on hype like FITFI. So Is there any region that we could come down to from a trading perspective and hold, and then that would be a very nice place to enter the market? Well, actually, I really do like how this 786 Fibonacci lines up almost perfectly with your M pattern breakdown. Now, I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be entering the markets again. Let's see, so I'll mark this as a buyer, mark this in green. I definitely would be looking to pick up a bit more FITFI down at the 35-cent region, but it is going to be a very small amount of my trade, and the only amount of FITFI that I am going to buy is from the 10% profit that I gain from my trade. At this moment in time, I'm not looking to use any of my money in crypto to buy any more altcoins, to buy any more trades. The only thing that I'm looking at putting my money in right now is into Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin comes down to 29,000, I want to make sure I have a huge bag of liquidity to pick up a couple of Bitcoins, to pick up some nice liquidity over in that region. So very, very important things going on with FITFI. We are having an M pattern breakdown on the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. They are converging on themselves and heading down. It never looks like we've done this previously on the 4-hourly EMAs. You can see the first time we bottomed in the short-term moving average of the EMA ribbons before they fully loaded in. The second time, you can see this long-term moving average is a couple of wicks below this one. So if we actually extrapolated this to where this long-term moving average was, because obviously it only loaded in here, so it wouldn't have shown that the data points would have been trending down here. You can actually see we came down to the long-term moving average, we came down to somewhat around the mid-term moving average in here. We've never broken below this, so we're definitely in uncharted waters for FITFI. It does look like it's losing a lot of momentum at this moment in time. The hourly is heading down very, very strong. When you're coming down, potentially, because a lot of people like to potentially figure these to be W patterns. This could definitely play out to be a W pattern, but you'd want to see volume slowing down as you are coming into the bottom of the W pattern, and then you'd want to see an influx of buying volume. We're not seeing that. We're seeing actually bearish volume. Sellers are stepping in more, which does make me feel like FITFI is going to come out and take the lows and go down much further. So is there anywhere else where I could potentially be a buyer? Because I don't want this to turn completely sour. I mean, if this returned all the way back to the original trend at 25 cent, that would be very brutal. I do like how this 786 is setting up with the M pattern breakdown. I could definitely expect if we do come down to here, we might have a bounce. And then potentially if we go up like another 10-20%, we can talk about liquidating some profits before we do come back down. If we do come back down for one more leg to the downside, yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I mean, a move down to your 786 Fibonacci, bouncing up to your 618 Fibonacci, confirming it as resistance, we take profit and another 25% trade, and then we come down, take out the floor, potentially we come down to the lows here, and then we could enter another trade. That is what I personally look to happen in the market right now. So I'm going to draw this out how I think this is going to play out. I think we're going to do something like this. Like I said, coming into the 786 for the first time, I'm going to make sure that I do pick up some. And like I said, it's going to be a very, very small bag. This is my trade. This is what I plan on doing with my money. Please do your own research. This is your money that you're going to be planning on spending. Don't just listen to what people on YouTube say. Do your own research. Make your own trades, make your own analysis. This is my analysis. This is what I think is going to be playing out. Bearish momentum is stepping in. Every time frame is bearish. Hourly time frame broke bearish a little while ago. The bearish momentum is, it's consolidating while we're in this huge move to the downside, and now it's reaccumulating. And the fact that it looks like we're about to come down and take out these lows at 45 cent is not good. So it doesn't look great right now for FITFI, if I'm honest. I do think at some point this is going to be a great buy. In my opinion, 35 cent would be where I'd look to ladder in. But yeah, like I said, not a lot of bullish stuff that we can talk about today on FITFI. Your oscillators are very, very oversold. They look like they want to bounce at some point in time. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if your 618 was the bounce before we do exit, or before we do bounce and then go back down. But I like to play from positions of strength. I'd be looking to get in at 35. That is all I've got for FITFI. As always, not financial advice. If you do find value in these videos, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All I've got for you today. Cowboy out. Peace.